Connecting Community on Cairns FM 89.1. Supreme stand-up comedian Peter James is with me on the line. Peter, you've got your farewell show coming up. I know it's a few months away in September, but you've been doing Laughing Heart comedy for the last 4 years consistently at the Paramore Theatre. Tell us a little bit about this. I mean, what is it about stand-up comedy that you love?
It's just the best. It's just the best thing ever. You just know how it feels to be in a live comedy audience if you have been. It's unlike anything else. It's like such a deeply personal, artistic pursuit, which also makes it so heartbreaking all the time, but it is just the greatest thing in the world. It's so immediate. You don't have to rehearse. There's no waiting on other people. You just get to do it completely independently, and you can have an idea that day and try it out that night and learn if it's bad or if it's good. And most of the time, it's somewhere in the middle.
I'm talking with stand-up comedian Peter James. Peter, what would you say is the key to being a stand-up comedian, if there is one?
The key, look, it's a bit of a lame answer, but I'd say the key to being a stand-up comedian is being really comfortable with failing a lot. Because that's kind of how comedy, unlike any other artistic pursuit, is the only thing that you can... It's the only way you can create comedy is to perform it in front of people. Like if you're a musician, for instance, and you're learning the guitar, very rarely is the first time you play a guitar to a room full of people. There's some way to gauge whether or not you're a good guitar player by yourself. Whereas with comedy, there's only so much you can learn from writing by yourself in a room. You need immediate feedback of a group of people. So I guess in some way, like, I sometimes look at it like the group of people that you're talking to is the instrument you're learning to play. You're learning how to play a room of people. So you have to, you can only practice by routinely humiliating yourself in front of a room full of people for years and years and years, until it somehow gets a little bit less humiliating and then starts to be fun. But it was fun for me the whole time because I like being humiliated. So it really was a win-win.
I'm talking with stand-up comedian Peter James. Peter, how did it all start for you then?
I got very lucky. I used to think that I wanted to be a very serious actory type, which if you've ever seen what my face looks like, that was never going to be a chance. But in high school, I was kind of, not forced, but pushed in the direction of comedy by a teacher of mine. Her name was Hannah Bliss. And as part of the curriculum, we had to do the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. They have a Australia-wide competition called Class Clowns, where they try to find the funniest, I guess, high school students in Australia. Big world Australia-wide competition. And we had to do a sketch comedy in that. So we were creating that as part of the curriculum. But she really pushed me in the direction of doing stand-up. And I ended up winning the Cairns heats that year and then doing that competition for the next 4 years throughout high school and eventually getting to the national final in Melbourne and doing a big theatre. And then at that point it was just like, there is no way I could do anything else now. I've got the bug so aggressively. And yeah, just post-high school just continued to be the only thing I've ever wanted to do. And I'm doing it to some extent. And I've been able to do a bunch of cool things based in Cairns. Now it has come to the time where I do have to move somewhere. But Cairns has been such an amazing creative place and a supportive place. And I would not be in the position that I am right now if it wasn't for Cairns being such a great place to learn to do comedy in.
Wow, that's just terrific. And your final show, The Farewell, on September the 24th at the CPAC, and tickets are on sale now. Yes,
and I swear to God, I promise, it will be funnier than I have been in the last 4 minutes. As soon as I start talking about comedy, I get so serious, and then I realise, oh, hang on, I'm on the radio. So just know that I'm the funniest man you have ever seen in your life. Oh,
thanks,
so funny.
Thanks, Peter James.
Cheers, mate.
You've been listening to Connecting Community on Cairns FM 89.1.